Google and Anthropic AI data center just shocked the world. So Google has just agreed to finance a $5 billion data center for Anthropic. And this isn't some vague handshake deal. The Financial Times broke this story hours ago. Google is putting up construction loans for a facility in Texas that Anthropic has already signed a lease on. The loans are expected to close in weeks. Now, let me tell you why this matters way more than people think. This data center sits on 2,800 acres of land. That's bigger than some small towns. It will deliver 500 megawatts of power by late 2026. And here's the part that stopped me cold. The long term plan to scale this thing is to scale it to 7.7 gigawatts. To put that in perspective, 1 gigawatt powers roughly 350,000 homes. We're talking about enough energy to run a small country, all for AI. And the way they're powering it is smart. The site sits right between major gas pipelines in Texas. So Nexus Data Centers, the company actually building this thing, will run their own gas turbines. They don't need the public power grid, for example. That means no surge pricing during peak demand, no waiting in line for electricity. They control their own power supply from day one. Now, here's what most people are missing about this deal. Google isn't writing a check. Google owns 14% of Anthropic. So they've invested over $3 billion into the company. Amazon has put in $8 billion. And Anthropic just raised $30 billion in the Series G round back in February, bringing their valuation to $380 billion. So they're not just writing a check here, they are fully already interested in Anthropic. They're already one of the part owners. And this is one of the most valuable private companies on earth right now anyway. So when Google steps in and says, we'll finance your data center, what they're really doing is using their credit rating, one of the strongest in the world, to get Anthropic cheaper loans from banks. Banks trust Google, so the interest rates drop and the project gets funded faster. Not only that, but Anthropic gets the compute it needs without burning through its cash. This is how the AI infrastructure race actually works. It's not just about who builds the best model, it's about who has the best relationships, the cheapest capital, and the most power, literal electrical power behind their servers. And Anthropic is stacking all three. Think about what they've done in the last year alone. They signed a deal with Google for up to 1 million TPU chips. That deal alone is worth tens of billions of dollars. They got Amazon to build them a dedicated data center campus in Indiana, Project Rainer, on 1,200 acres with an $11 billion price tag. That facility is already running. They announced a $50 billion infrastructure build out with Fluidstack, starting with custom data centers in Texas and New York. They hired data center veterans straight from Google. Tim Hughes from Stack Infrastructure, Brett Rogers, who spent 6 years building data centers of Google, and Willie Lung, with over 20 years of experience at Google. So this company went from renting cloud space to building its own empire in around 12 months. And now Google is financing even more of it. If you want to understand how to actually use tools like Claude in your own business, whether that's for your agency, for freelancing, for your content, for your e-commerce store, whatever, I do 4 weekly live coaching calls every week inside the AI Profitable Boarding. We've got 2,600 members in there right now, all figuring out how to use AI automation to get more clients and make more money. We've got 30-day roadmaps, step-by-step tutorials every single day, a prompt library, and a member map so you can connect with people near you. Link in the comments description or go to the AIProfitable.com. So let's zoom out now, because the Google Anthropic deal isn't happening in a vacuum. Right now, there is a full-blown infrastructure arms race happening in AI, and the numbers are staggering. OpenAI has locked in over $1.4 trillion in long-term infrastructure commitments. Their Stargate project with SoftBank and Oracle is targeting 33 gigawatts of capacity. Meta is planning to spend at least $600 billion on US infrastructure through 2028. Microsoft just connected a new data center in Atlanta to another one in Wisconsin, creating what they called a massive supercomputer running on hundreds of thousands of NVIDIA chips. And now Anthropic, which a lot of people still think as the smaller, quieter AI lab is playing at the same table. Their $50 billion build out, their Google TPU deal, their Amazon partnership, this new $5 billion Texas facility, add it all up, and Anthropic is securing gigawatts of compute across multiple providers, multiple chip types, and multiple locations. They're not locked into one vendor, they spread their bets across Google TPUs, Amazon Trainium tips, and NVIDIA GPUs. So if one provider has an outage, like when AWS went down and Claude kept running because of this exact strategy, they stay online. And it's not luck, it's planning. It's what I keep coming back to, right? Because why would a company need this much power? Well, Dario Modi, the CEO of Anthropic, said something that has really stuck with me. He said that they're getting closer to AI that can accelerate scientific discovery and solve complex problems in ways that were not possible before, and that doing it requires infrastructure that can support development at the frontier. In plain English, the AI models coming next are going to be so powerful, so big, and so demanding that the current data centers can't handle them. You need custom built facilities designed specifically for AI workloads. You need your own power supply. You need millions of specialized chips, and you need billions of dollars to make it all happen. That's what this deal was about. Google Anthropic aren't building a data center, they're building the foundation for whatever comes after the AI we have today. And the speed of this is what gets me. So, for example, in 2023, Google made its first big investment in Anthropic, $300 million. By 2024, they'd added another 2 billion. In January 2025, another billion. By October 2025, the TPU deal worth tens of billions. And now in March 2026, they're financing a $5 billion data center. Each step is bigger than the last. Each step is faster than the last. And the gap between investments keeps shrinking and the dollar amount keeps growing. This tells you something about how fast AI demand is growing. Anthropic has over 300,000 business customers right now. Their accounts are paying over $100,000 a year. They have grown nearly 7 times in the last 12 months. They're projecting $26 billion in revenue for 2026 alone. And that kind of growth eats compute like nothing else. So, what does this actually mean for you? Here's the thing that most people don't realize. Every time one of these massive deals gets announced, it means the AI tools you use day to day are about to get a lot faster, more capable, more reliable. When Anthropic gets access to more compute, clouds and Claude's models get smarter, the responses get faster, the context windows grow bigger, and the capabilities expand. Every $1 billion poured into infrastructure eventually shows up as a better tool on your screen. And the businesses that figure this out and how to use these tools first are the ones that win. An agency owner that learns how to automate their client reporting with AI saves about 20 hours a week. A freelancer who uses AI to write proposals and does research with it lands twice as many clients. An e-commerce operator who uses AI for product descriptions and customer support cuts their costs, especially labor, in half. The infrastructure race isn't about Google and Anthropic, it's about the tools those companies give to you. And the people who learn to use these tools now, whilst everyone else is debating whether AI is actually real or useful, those are the people who pull ahead. There's another layer to this that I think is really important. So, data centers could eat up 12% of all US electricity by 2028. Right now, they use about 4.4%. That's a 3 times jump in 4 years. Communities near data centers have already seen electricity prices rise 12 to 16% faster than the national average. So Microsoft, OpenAI, and Anthropic have all pledged to cover those extra electricity costs for local residents. And this isn't really a technology story. This is an energy story, a real estate story, a lab story, a job story. Anthropic's Fluid Stack partnership alone is creating 800 permanent jobs, paying an average of $144,000 a year, plus over 2,400 construction jobs. These facilities are going up in Texas and New York, with more sites coming. The AI industry is becoming a physical industry. It's not just code on a screen anymore. It's concrete, steel, turbines, pipelines, and thousands of workers building the backbone of what comes next. And Google just bet $5 billion that Anthropic is going to be at the center of it. Look, if you want coaching on how to actually implement AI automation in your business, come join us inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, 4 coaching calls a week, daily step-by-step tutorials, 30-day roadmaps to get more customers and generate more leads and save time using tools like Claude, and a community of 2,600 business owners who are already doing this and implementing this alongside you. Plus, you get a prompt library and a 24/7 support team. Link in the comments description or go to the aiprofitable.com to get access. The AI race isn't slowing down. 5 billion here, 50 billion there, trillions in the pipeline, and the companies building AI are building the most expensive infrastructure the world has ever seen. And they're doing it faster than anyone predicted. The question isn't whether this changes everything, or it is. The question is whether you're going to learn how to use it or watch from the sidelines as everyone else does.